Hi guys, it's Raguel from the AKURO podcast. Hope you're all doing well today. Today's video is basically a discussion / overview of one of my favourite manga series, The Promised Neverland, which personally I've been following since its release and is sadly coming to an end. I can't believe it. Didn't really expect it to end this soon, but it is what it is. It's not all doom and gloom though. We still have the anime adaptation to look forward to, which is set to be released in 2021, and also an Amazon Prime live action. So there's still a lot of content to get through and a lot of enjoyment to be had. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. Like, comment, subscribe, show some love, man. More content coming your way. Alright, let's just get into it. So it's been a minute since the manga series The Promised Neverland ended. Recorded a vid before this, but wasn't really feeling it. Hopefully second time's a charm. This series is such a great series. It's so solid in all aspects. A dark fantasy thriller done right. Action-packed with a unique premise set in a dystopian world where humans are viewed as a food source, with kids being confined to plantations disguised as orphanages, to feed a race of demons who control the world and the systems within it. Off the bat, this is just a fire concept to me, giving way to a variety of ideas and storylines which the writers could take. A world of demons and orphans waiting to be eaten, with no knowledge of their danger they're in. It's something that I've never seen before personally. There may be a lot of shonen series with kids fighting against things that are far beyond them, but The Promised Neverland provides such a unique take. I really like the concept regarding the farms being disguised as orphanages, as well as the kids being the delicacy of choice. Who knew a manga about monsters eating kids' brains would be so good? I would say the lack of food preparation and food hygiene really troubled me though. Especially when we look deeper into the story, I really doubt that they used any type of seasoning on their food, which is, that's disrespectful for me. That's ridiculous. I'm definitely going off topic here, but if you're gonna kill me, at least throw some seasoning onto me. I want to go out with some dignity. Overall, story-wise, we followed the graceful kids, focusing on Emma, Ray and Norman, and their attempt to escape their dark reality. Initially, we are introduced to a carefree family environment, making the reveal of killer demons really surprising. But thinking back now, I would have probably still have enjoyed a more peaceful, laid-back journey following the orphans growing up. You always need at least one light-hearted manga series in your roster, but it turned out to be anything but that. The Promised Neverland opens us up to a world that goes far beyond what we initially imagined, hinting at systems and establishment that are fully fleshed out during the story, showcasing dynamic characters who each have experienced life in such a unique way it shapes their actions and understanding. You could really see this dynamic being displayed constantly, from how each kid's understanding when coming into contact with new pieces of information is vastly different. Some formulate more logical approaches when digesting the things they have witnessed, whilst others tend to move mad, jumping the gun, resulting in them being put into some unnecessary situations. Even when we look at characters such as Isabella and how she reacts to certain situations that take place, especially during the first arc, her reactions are very complex and based on past trauma, dreams and hopes that were unfulfilled. For me, she's more of a big kid. Even with all her experience and knowledge, she's also trapped in a similar way that the graceful kids are. And in regards to the graceful kids, Emma's reaction was vastly different from Ray's and Norman's. Her first thought was to save everyone and protect those she loves, even if it wasn't realistic. She was heavily motivated from the beginning to create a world where they all can be safe and free, fitting her optimistic, extroverted persona. Being exposed early on to the corpse of Connie, revealing the truth behind Gracefield and Isabella, somehow cemented and strengthened her resolve, fueling her desire to escape. This is not a typical reaction for a kid to have when exposed to such trauma, speaking volumes to the strength she has as a character, to face such an extreme situation in such a selfless way. Whereas when we look at Ray and how he carries himself, he has that only the strong survive, lone wolf type of attitude, which was heavily due to his experience of the world so far and his perspective at that point, putting emphasis more on practicality and logic. You can see this clearly by his reaction to finding out the truth behind the orphanage. He didn't try and help or warn others, opting to put himself first, allowing him to have access to things others were unable to attain. The characters in The Promised Neverland are intelligently written. Kaishiro does a great job of capturing how a group of kids would react to a dire situation as this, creating complex dynamics throughout the story. based on the simplistic desire of freedom and safety that all kids want, but due to their surprising intelligence, which is beyond their age, we are able to see a greater depth in thought and action, resulting in vastly more impressive conflicts between the kids, Isabella, and the demons. Another dimension that the kids bring is their imagination, as well as their capacity to think more creatively, forming approaches and ideas that are not restricted by limiters that are developed as we grow into adults, providing them with the ability to rise and push beyond obstacles they face, and also allowing the writers to touch on philosophical discussions regarding freedom, ownership, and control seen through the viewpoint of kids, which provides a straightforward outlook on what is seen to be wrong or right, as in their eyes the world is a much more simplistic place, allowing them to conclude that the position they've been put in, even if it's based on an agreement that was put in place for the sake of humanity, is not right at all, as it justifies and allows the suffering of others. Creating and producing one of the biggest ethical questions in the series: is peace really peace if others have to suffer for it? My answer is no, but it seems that as we get older, this empathy for others seems to slowly disappear, or we choose to ignore the suffering of others, which is shown in the series. A unwillingness to create change as the situation that others are in provides peaceful lives, free of fear for others. The Promised Neverland does a great job of putting us in their shoes, allowing us to see the responsibility we must have for those who are put in unfavourable positions within society, even if we both benefit from it or are unaffected by it. It also shows how easy it is to become a contributor to a bad system. For example, those who decide to become mums and are put in charge of orphanages with the responsibility of creating the best and happiest environment, which is key for creating high quality brute juice, and also creating a false sense of peace, hiding the kids from true reality. The whole system displays a certain dynamic we can all recognize, where individual freedom is controlled or dictated by others. Overall, each arc played a significant role in the development of the story and world building, with no panels wasted. Everything that was presented pushed forward their journey in a way that was natural and not forced, organically revealing the existence of significant places, organizations, and important concepts before the narrative. A good example of this is William Minavera and his books, which help set up a world beyond Gracefield, providing the hope that escaping the farm is possible and has likely been done before, hinting at the vast history of kids that had come before them and their struggles, invoking a greater dream of not just escaping, but breaking the whole system. If anything should be taken away from this series, is the importance of pushing forward to create an environment where all are truly free and happy, no matter the cost, and the past is not an excuse for continuing systems that cause others to suffer. The deeper lying issues are the reason I enjoy this manga so much, as well as its unique approach, using kids as the main victims to gain our sympathy and increasing the shock value. The mysterious tone and dark fantasy vibe had me suspecting and overthinking every moment, as well as character motive. For example, Best Boy Phil, from the very beginning, he had me on edge, and I was always watching his movements. There was something up with him, the way he would walk around and appear abruptly in important moments, like he was snooping around. You couldn't help but think there was something more going on. And this is the magic of the show, making the reader overthink simple and sometimes almost insignificant moments, making you have to return just to see if your theory about a particular character or situation becomes true, making it one of my favourite series. I would recommend you jump into the world of The Promised Neverland. This series provides a lot of great moments and characters you end up really loving. The dark atmosphere makes you appreciate the moments where the kids are just allowed to be kids, even though these moments do tend to be short, keeping you on the edge throughout the reading experience. It's not perfect, and I do have mixed feeling regarding how it ended, but overall, it's great. The only sad thing is that I've got to find something else to read now. So if you guys have any suggestions of any new reading material, please leave it in the comment for me. Overall, I do feel like this is a favourite place for me to end. Hopefully you guys really enjoyed the video. It wasn't a deep account of the series, but a quick appreciation of one of my favourite manga series. Allow me to say goodbye. Potentially could end up doing a couple more vids on this, give a more in-depth account into the story, arcs and characters. If you enjoyed, please sub and like the video. More content coming your way. Catch you guys in a bit.
Are you running? Why are you running?